Welcome back to Simright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this full circled high-waisted skirt you are seeing right there on the thumbnail and on this video. Looking at this beautiful skirt, you can see the high waist. The waist is up to the under bust point. It's a high-waisted skirt and the circle is very full. I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks to making a full circle skirt with a full lining as well, and a high skirt with zipper on the side. If this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn how this skirt is made. So here I am making use of a full Ankara fabric, which is 6 yards. I used all of them. Next, open up your 6 yards of Ankara fabric the way you see me open it up. This is 6 yards and this is 45 inches. You are going to place it on the first fold. When I place the 6 yards on the first fold, my length will just be 3 yards. I already placed it on the first fold. Here is 45 and this is 3 yards now. So I'm going to place it on the second fold. After placing it on the second fold, as you see me do right here, so make sure you arrange this fabric very well because we want to mark out the radius right now. So you can see the 6 yards of Ankara have been folded this way. Now for the radius, we are going to have a little calculation. First, you need to get your full waist circumference. Mine is 36 inches and we are cutting half a circle for front and half a circle for back. To cut this half a circle, first you are going to use your full waist circumference, which is 36, divide by 2. I got 18 inches. So the front is 18, the back is 18. Then you add 2 inches for seam allowance on the side, which will give me 20. Then you divide by 3.14, which is a constant. Here my radius is 6 inches. So we are using 6 inches right now to cut out the radius of this full circle skirt. I believe you understand. So here I am going to place my tape at the tip and I'll keep rotating 6 inches until I get to the folded part. So this is the radius of this skirt. To get the length of this skirt, I'll be using this dummy to demonstrate to you how to take your measurement. So you are going to take your measurement from the under bust and take it to the floor level. So this is how you take it from your under bust to the floor level. Whatever measurement you get, that is the full length of this skirt. This particular skirt has a 4.5 inches band. So I placed my tape on 4.5 inches on that radius and I marked my full length. So my full length here gave me 48 inches. So I added 1 inch, making it 49 inches. So you place your tape at 4.5 inches on that radius line. You will keep marking 49 inches, which is your full length, including 1 inch for seaming allowance. So I kept marking 49 inches. So once you get to this point, you notice that the 49 inches will just stop at a point. That means you need to join your fabric. So this is where my 49 inches stopped. But I'm going to cut it and also show you how to join the fabric on the other side to make up the rest of 49 inches. So I kept cutting the length till I got to the end of it this way. So after cutting the full length, we'll also go ahead and cut the radius. So here I am cutting my 6 inches radius. After cutting your radius, you are going to place a notch at the center back and center front. So if you open up this circle, you have 2 half circles, which is front and back. And if you measure it, it should give you 20 inches for each of them. Now I will put it back so we'll be able to add up the down piece. Add up the down piece, you just get the pieces you cut out. This is how you are going to match it, making sure the folded edge is matching with the folded part. You just place half an inch on top of it like this, and then take your full measurement once again. Here I am pinning down, so you have to pin it on top of the other so we can take the full measurement. After pinning, I will go ahead to take my 4.5 inches bandwidth off. I'll place my tape at 4.5 inches, and I'll go ahead and take 49 inches on that part we just added right now. I'll mark 49 inches. This is just to make up with the length, because Ankara comes at 45 inches length, so you not expect to have your full measurement, so you need to add it up. So here I am taking the 49 inches back to the part that we have the shortage. After that, I'm going to cut it out. So this is just the little we have added. Now I'm going to take what I have here and place it on another fabric for the other part. So this one is on fold. I'll place this on top of the other to make up the other. Here I am done cutting the both of them. So you just go ahead and place a notch on that point. Also place another notch on the main flace skirt, because we want to open up this and join that part. So you are going to open up the down part of one of the skirts. We are joining it one after the other. Here is the half circle skirt, and this is the down part that is shortened. I'm going to place that part I cut right side to it from the point I notched and secure with my pin. After pinning it down, then I'll take it to the machine to add up the length. Here you can see I've added up my length. I've stitched and I also weaved that part. So the length is ready right now. So we'll go ahead and keep this skirt and cut the lining. For the lining, I also folded it the way I folded the Ankara fabric. My lining is 6 years also, and the length came at 45 inches. So just go ahead and repeat what you did for the Ankara fabric. So after repeating it, this is what I got. Now I'm going to take 6 inches radius. So this is just a repetition, but I just want to show you that I repeated it. So after marking the 6 inches here once again, we are going to also place our tape 4.5 inches to mark 49 inches. So I'll keep marking 49 inches to the end. My 49 inches stopped at a point too. That also means I am going to join just like I did for the front, for the Ankara fabric. Now I'm cutting it off, as you can see me do right here. Once I'm done cutting it off, I'll pick up the pieces and I'm going to also join it by placing a notch at that point. After cutting out the radius, I'll pick up the remaining part of the fabric. Go ahead and join. I've practically done exactly what I done on the Ankara fabric. The next thing we are going to do right now is to reduce our lining length. You are going to cut off 1.5 inches from your lining length. So you come over to the lining, because the lining is going to be shorter. So you begin to mark 1.5 inches all the way to the end. After marking it, then we begin to cut. So I thought of just coming from the beginning. Instead of marking 1.5 inches, I'll be placing my tape at 1.5 inches like this. It makes it easier for me to cut than marking and cutting. So here I'll keep marking 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut it out all the way to the other end as well. Here I've made the lining shorter by 1.5 inches to the main fabric. Next, we are going to sew the sides of each of these flares. So I'm going to put the lining side together and I'll go ahead and stitch one inch all the way down. After stitching, you can see the full circle right here, so it meets and gives you a full circle. Already stitched the Ankara fabric this way on the side by 1 inch, so you place right side to right side of the down part of your lining and Ankara fabric. We want to stitch the whole of the down part, so you just open up your seams, making sure your seam allowance on the down part of that side you stitched at 1 inch matches with that of the lining. You secure with your pin. Next, you go ahead to sew 1/2 inch from that center to this side and the other side. So after stitching, this is what I got. You can see the circle right there for lining and for the fabric. So that is the 1.5 inch shortage you are seeing because of the cutting of the lining. If you look at the down part very well, you can see that I have a little excess, okay? Because of that 1.5 inch you cut, there will be an excess on the side. So you just make a little gather to make sure the lining matches right now with the main fabric. So don't make the gathers too much, okay? So, and don't stitch to the end of it yet. So I made a little gathers. In case you have this excess, you make a little gathers and stitch them together. You can see what I got right there. So the lining matches up completely. So after matching up completely, you're going to flip all your seams to the lining part and top stitch. After I'm done top stitching, next we are going to put the dress together and stitch the sides with 1/4 inch. This is what I got after I'm done stitching the sides with 1/4 inch. Next, put the waistline together and stitch with 1/2 inch. This is the result of what we have stitched so far. I went ahead to give everything a good press. After pressing it down, next we are going to put the sides together. You put them together like this. Then you are going to measure your zip line. My zip line is 9 inches. I'll just mark 9 inches. From that 9 inches point, I'll begin to mark 1 inch. So I'm going to sew 1 inch all the way down. It's time to cut out the band. The band width is 6 inches and the length is your waist circumference plus 3 inches for seam allowance for zipper and the stitching of the band. So you are going to put this together and stitch 1/2 inch on the upper part. After stitching 1/2 inch, I went ahead and flipped all my seams to the lining and top stitched. After top stitching, you are going to put it together like this and stitch 1/2 inch on both sides. I'll stitch 1/2 inch on both sides. After stitching 1/2 inch on both sides, this is what I got. Just go ahead and give it a good press. So I later added some stay both on the lining and on the fabric. I did this stay because I actually want my band to be firm. So if you take your measurement, you have your waist circumference plus 2 inches. So the length I got here is just 38 inches. So I'm going to put it together right here and I'm going to get the mid point of the band, which will serve as the other side of the band. Now I'm going to place this band on the men's skirt. So this is the skirt. So on that other side right now, I'll bring in the part I notched. I'm going to place it right side to the lining. I'll go over to the machine and stitch from the notch to the end. After stitching, this is what I got. So the next thing is to tuck in 1/2 inch like this. I'll go ahead and top stitch all the way down. So you can go ahead and secure with your pins if you want. Here is my band and you can see how beautiful it sits on the skirt. Next, I'm going to sew my zip right now on the side of the skirt. Here I have neatly stitched in my zip. You can see how neat everything looks both on the inside and on the outside. Don't forget to give this a very good press. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.